Welcome back to Karis Investment, where investments are made simple. My name is Ken, entrepreneur investor in the stock market, real estate, and I'm doing my own small business. If you guys have seen me wear this hat here, definitely you have understand. Realrich.ca is my website for my merch. But let's jump into investing, guys. We're discussing Uber and Lyft today. I've created some contents for Lyft earlier, and now I'm doing for Uber as well. If you guys have been noticing in the last few months, we have seen that the stock price for both these companies have took a huge beating. For the day, we can see that Lyft was down just around 14%. Uber was down around 10%. Both companies are seeing a decline in their stock price and, of course, in their company market value. Now, before we jump too much into it, we will jump right into our intros, and then we'll be back to discuss if Uber is a great investment versus Lyft and which one would you choose now. Welcome back. Yes, indeed, guys. As we are speaking, the market is actually performing down for the day. Multiple sectors, not just Uber and Lyft. But if you guys are watching, it is a great time to start thinking about your investment. Now, let's take a look at my screen. We can see that Uber is down just around 8%. Currently was down lower for the morning. We can see as low as $22.94. So we start to see some recover in terms of plus $3. That's a huge jump. So for the day, it was down almost 18%, but we have seen a recover in the process. Now let's take a look at what we're looking at for the day, guys. Early in the morning, down 22.29, 22.90. Then we can see it took a huge rise up in the last few minutes of trading hours. Now it's still just 11 o'clock, but as we can see, morning stock price opens, then we took a huge dive. So opened just around $25. Then we saw it came down with the market. Then we saw a recovery in the process. We have seen it with stocks such as in the ride hailing industry. We have seen it in the cannabis space as well. We saw Kronos, we saw Canopy Growth, we saw a numerous of those companies were down. Lyft was down as well, and everyone starts to do a small recovery. Now, if we take a look at Uber in the last year, we have seen how the company is performing. We saw a similar price back in July, and then we saw a small recovery, crossing from 21 all the way back over $30 per share. And then we saw it starts to do the exact same thing. Now, keep in mind, I mentioned this earlier in terms of the Lyft investment, that the Uber investment as well. If you keep in mind, we can see that they're doing the exact same thing like what we saw back in 2020 March. We have seen in 2020 March, we were down in the low $14 per share. But by March of 2021, we have seen the company recover more than 200 to 300%. So do you think that this is a great investment? This is the main question. And guys, I create videos very simple to eliminate the fillers, to make sure that you guys have somewhere that you can trust to get your information on. We're just doing plain and simple investing on this channel. Now, I've invested in Uber for quite a long time, and each time it drops into these levels, my goal is to buy as many shares as I can, hold, and as soon as it starts to rise, sell the extra shares that I have and keep my average lower. Uber and Lyft is a long-term play for anyone that's investing in these companies. Keep in mind that it is not a get-rich investment. It is investing on a low price and try to make sure that we can capitalize. Now, if we look at Uber, say 5 to 10 years back, anyone who invested in Uber previously, know that it is a great opportunity for anyone. Now, we look back in early 2019, we saw when Uber make its first drop, everyone starts to panic. And then we look again in 2020, we saw it made a major drop, and then people start to definitely panic. But whoever stays on for the long haul were able to profit big when the company were able to recover. Now, the market have a lot of speculation going on. Not much to really control the fear. There's fear of recession. There's fear of a lot of different things that's completely shaking the market. We take a look for the year to date. We have seen in January, the company was trading, I would say in October, the company was trading very, very well last October. And then we saw a huge amount of drop since that time. So if we look from October 2021 versus October 2022, we have seen a decline in price, but we saw this similar pattern back in 2020 of October, and then by March of 2021 we saw it recover. I'm trying to time the exact same movement. Guys, it is the stock market. This is, in my opinion, anything that we're discussing here is not to tell you that it will happen. This is my prediction. 9 out of 10, I'm always on the ball. You can go back and watch numerous videos. But Uber, Lyft, we talk about Apple, talk about Tesla. These are companies such as Microsoft as well and Intel. I've been trading for a very, very long time before the pandemic. A lot of people create videos about investing once the pandemic starts, which is very easy to buy and hold and sell and make a profit. But Uber and Lyft, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, I was known for investing more in the tech sector. So most of my companies are more tech based, right? As I mentioned time and time again, because my background is in IT. So the companies that I associate myself with in the past was more on a tech side, such if we go back in the early days of Google, and we go back into Microsoft before the LinkedIn purchase, in Intel, in Cisco, and of course when Uber came around, I jumped on board. Like all those tech companies, I'm a big supporter. I've always invested in these companies, and this is why I said Uber and Lyft, these are technology companies, right? And it's just a cycle as we're speaking. The prices will bounce back. The prices will bounce back. Do your research. See if you like to get in. I think it's a perfect opportunity. Will it drop to $22 again? Maybe it could. There is a possibility. If you're able to jump on board this morning, that's perfect. I was thinking it would drop probably around the 1950 range, but it stopped around 22 and a half. That is okay. But keep in mind that Uber had big news that they exit some key cities in Pakistan as well. We saw a few cities. I was reading last few days that they have exited, discontinued their ride-hailing service app in 5 cities in Pakistan, including Karachi, right? So it is a big, big blow to anyone that's driving in those cities. And this is why, guys, you have to diversify your income, because if you are relying on Uber as a sole stream of income, think about those drivers that's completely relying on Uber as their sole income. Think about how they feel this morning when the company completely pull out of those cities. If they were relying on those cities or to get paid driving in those cities, now they have to look for the competitor and then try to see if they can make ends meet. So it's same as investing, guys. Diversify your portfolio, make smart decision, invest as low as you can, hold and then make profit. Not telling you guys that you have to do what I'm saying. I'm just explaining what works for me. So if you guys have invested in Uber, I think Uber will still rise. We have seen this time and time again. Not the first time. We look back a year, we look back 2 years, we look back 3 years. The company seems to always bounce back, right? We saw back in July, we have a similar run like this. We bounce back, hit over 30. We go back in the pandemic, we saw we drop below $15 per share. Then we bounce back and crosses $60 per share. Now, I'm thinking more about that $60 per share. So if you're getting right now, be patient. You're looking at a possibility of making 100 to 200% profit in the long term or in the near future. Could be a year, could be a year and a half. That is okay, guys. So if you like the content, what I'm providing here, show your support, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you guys are invested in Uber. Let me know if you guys are trying to sell your shares, if you should sell. Leave your comments below. Let the family see what you guys are doing. Hey, at the end of the day, guys, it is totally free, but make sure that you're doing your research to make sure you're getting the best advice, right? Do your research to make sure you're making the best decision based on what the information tells you. Again, this is how Uber have been performing since opening trade October 11, 2022. We have seen it dips this morning below 23, but then it rebound and now crosses over $25 per share. So again, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace out.